Greetings, everyone! Today, we will take a captivating journey through time to uncover the splendid dynasties and magnificent history of France. This is a land where legendary kings, daring conquests, and the rise and fall of a nation have woven a mesmerizing tale. The Merovingian dynasty was the first period of France's history after the Franks united. Clovis I, one of the most famous Merovingian kings, converted the Franks to Christianity and established a vast empire. This dynasty played a significant role in shaping and developing European civilization. Clovis I, the son of a Frankish king named Childeric I, undertook significant conquests and embraced Christianity, marking the fusion of the Frankish people with Roman heritage. He established the Frankish kingdom and became the first king of the Merovingian dynasty. Childebert I, the son of Clovis I, succeeded to the throne after his father's passing. Under the reign of Childebert I, the Frankish kingdom continued to expand its territories and achieved prosperity and security. Clovis I, also a son of Clovis I, inherited the throne after his father's death. However, Clovis I faced numerous conflicts and struggles with his brothers to achieve the unification of the country. Clovis II, the son of Chilperic I, continued the lineage and became the king after his father's demise. During Clovis II's reign, the Frankish kingdom experienced a period of prosperity and cultural development. Dagobert I, the son of Clovis II, ascended to the throne after his father's passing. He is known as a skilled ruler who promoted cultural, artistic, and educational activities during the Merovingian dynasty. Childeric II, the son of Clovis III, became king after his father's death. His reign was short-lived and marked the decline of the Merovingian dynasty. Clovis IV, the son of Theodoric III, succeeded to the throne after his father's death. His reign was also very short-lived and witnessed the weakening of the Merovingian dynasty. The Merovingian dynasty declined due to internal conflicts. In the 8th century, Charlemagne rose to power, establishing the Carolingian dynasty and becoming a prominent European leader. The Carolingian dynasty is named after King Charlemagne, also known as Charles the Great. Charlemagne built a vast empire that encompassed most of modern-day Europe. Under this dynasty, culture, education, and the arts flourished, creating a period of prosperity and influence. Pepin the Short, the son of Charles Martel, defeated both internal and external enemies and took the throne from the Merovingian dynasty to establish the Carolingian dynasty. He is known as the first king of this dynasty and contributed to the strong development of France. Charlemagne, also known as Charles the Great, is the most famous king of the Carolingian dynasty. Under his rule, France became a vast empire that encompassed most of modern-day Europe. Charlemagne also fostered education and culture, reaching its zenith, making it a golden age of cultural diversity and prosperity. Louis the Pious, the son of Charlemagne, succeeded the throne after his father's passing. Under his rule, France continued to prosper, and the Carolingian dynasty continued to develop in culture, art, and education. Charles the Bald, the son of Louis the Pious, inherited the throne after his father's death. Under his rule, the unity of the empire began to decline, and conflicts between the various constituent kingdoms weakened the empire. Louis the Stammerer, the son of Charles the Bald, ascended to the throne after his father's passing. His reign was short and marked by instability and power struggles. Louis III, the son of Louis the Stammerer, succeeded to the throne after his father's death. His reign was also short and witnessed weakness and division within the empire. Carloman II, the son of Louis the Stammerer, became king after his father's passing. Under his rule, the unity and stability of the empire continued to decline. The Carolingian dynasty continued to experience conflicts and internal strife, leading to the decline of the dynasty and paving the way for the subsequent Robertian dynasty. The Robertian dynasty served as a significant transitional period between the Carolingian and Capetian dynasties in the history of France. Hugh Capet, the first king of this dynasty, established the Capetian dynasty in 987. This marked a new era in the country's history and the beginning of a prominent line of kings that lasted for over 800 years. Robert I, also known as Robert the Strong, was the founder of the Robertian dynasty. He was a renowned military commander and successfully defeated France's enemies. He became the first king of France in the Robertian dynasty and implemented various measures to stabilize the country. Otto was a courageous and skilled military leader who defended France against external threats, particularly Viking invasions. Despite his efforts, internal struggles and conflicts with nobles challenged his rule. Charles the Simple sought diplomatic solutions to territorial disputes, leading to the establishment of Normandy as an independent Viking territory. However, internal dissent and power struggles complicated his reign. Robert the Pious was a devoutly religious king, focusing on church reforms and strengthening the clergy's influence. Despite his piety, his reign was short and marked by internal conflicts and political instability. Rudolf, the son of Robert I, succeeded the throne after his father's passing. Under Rudolf's reign, France faced numerous challenges and engaged in wars with neighboring countries. Louis IV, the son of Rudolf, ascended to the throne after his father's death. Under Louis IV's reign, France continued to grapple with internal conflicts and power struggles. Lothair, the son of Louis IV, succeeded the throne after his father's passing. Under Lothair's reign, the kingdom faced significant challenges and conflicts with neighboring countries. Louis V, the son of Lothair, ascended to the throne after his father's death. His reign was also short-lived, and it came to an end in the year 987 when the Capetian dynasty was established. The Robertian dynasty came to an end in 987 when Hugh Capet established the new Capetian dynasty, marking a significant turning point in the nation's history and heralding the beginning of the Capetian dynasty. This new era would span over 800 years and become one of the most influential royal dynasties in the history of France. The Capetian dynasty spanned over 800 years and began in 987 when Hugh Capet became the first king of France. This dynasty was a crucial period in French history, with kings like Louis IX, St. Louis, and Philip IV, Philip the Fair, marking the development and glory of France. Hugh Capet, the son of Hugh the Great, founded the Capetian dynasty. After the death of Louis V without a male heir, the people supported Hugh Capet as the first king of the Capetian dynasty, marking the start of a new era in French history. Robert II, also known as Robert the Pious, was the son of Hugh Capet and succeeded the throne after his father's passing. Under the reign of Robert II, France continued to prosper and remain stable. Henry I, the son of Robert II, ascended to the throne after the death of his father. During Henry I's reign, France experienced significant developments in culture and civilization. Philip I, the son of Henry I, inherited the throne after his father's death. During Philip I's reign, the kingdom faced numerous conflicts and power struggles. Louis VI, also known as Louis the Fat, was the son of Philip I and continued to inherit the throne after his father's passing. Under Louis VI's reign, the kingdom continued to develop and expand its territories. Louis VII, the son of Louis VI, ascended to the throne after his father's death. During Louis VI's reign, the kingdom faced numerous challenges and engaged in wars with neighboring countries. Philip II, also known as Philip Augustus, was the son of Louis VII and continued to inherit the throne after his father's death. Under Philip II's reign, France reached the pinnacle of power and glory, establishing the First French Empire. Louis VIII, the son of Philip II, succeeded the throne after his father's death. However, his reign was short-lived and came to an end when he passed away in 1226. Louis IX, also known as St. Louis, was the son of Louis VIII and continued to inherit the throne after his father's death. Under Louis IX's reign, France experienced significant growth and became a prominent center of culture, art, and education. Philip III, also known as Philip the Bold, was the son of Louis IX and continued to inherit the throne after his father's death. Under Philip III's reign, France continued to prosper and witness cultural development. Philip IV, also known as Philip the Fair, was the son of Philip III and continued to inherit the throne after his father's death. Under Philip IV's reign, the kingdom continued to develop and faced significant challenges in politics and religion. Louis X, the son of Philip IV, ascended to the throne after his father's passing. However, his reign was short-lived and came to an end when he passed away in 1316. Philip V, also known as Philip the Tall, was the younger brother of Louis X and continued to inherit the throne after his brother's death. Under Philip V's reign, France faced numerous economic and political challenges. Charles IV, also known as Charles the Fair, was the younger brother of Philip V and continued to inherit the throne after his brother's death. His reign was also very short-lived and came to an end in 1328 when the Capetian dynasty became extinct, as he did not leave behind any male heirs. The Capetian dynasty witnessed the development and success of France in various fields and came to an end in 1328 when the dynasty became extinct, paving the way for the subsequent Valois dynasty. The Valois dynasty began after the end of the Capetian dynasty in 1328. It included kings such as Charles V, Charles VI, and Charles VII. This period witnessed the expansion of the French kingdom and the development of culture and art. Philip VI, also known as Philip of Valois, was a distant descendant of Louis IX and continued the line of succession to the French throne after the Capetian dynasty became extinct. He faced a significant challenge when a dispute arose with Edward III of England over the right to the French throne, leading to the 100 Years' War. John II, also known as John the Good, was the son of Philip VI and succeeded to the throne after his father's death. During his reign, the 100 Years' War continued, and the country faced various economic and political challenges. Charles V, also known as Charles the Wise, was the son of John II and succeeded to the throne after his father's death. During his reign, the country faced invasions by the English and a series of conflicts with neighboring countries. However, he successfully restored and consolidated the power of the nation. Charles VI, also known as Charles the Mad, was the son of Charles V and succeeded to the throne after his father's death. During his reign, the country faced internal conflicts and wars with neighboring countries. Charles VII, also known as Charles the Victorious, was the son of Charles VI and succeeded to the throne after his father's death. During his reign, the country faced the challenges of war and invasion by the English in the 100 Years' War. Ultimately, Charles VII emerged victorious, reclaiming control and overturning English dominance. Louis XI, also known as Louis the Prudent, was the son of Charles VII and succeeded to the throne after his father's death. During his reign, France faced numerous internal and external challenges, and he implemented various measures to consolidate the power of the Valois dynasty. Charles VIII, also known as Charles the Affable, was the son of Louis XI and succeeded to the throne after his father's death. During his reign, the country continued to prosper and experienced a period of cultural development. Louis XII, also known as Louis the Father of the People, was the son of Charles VIII and succeeded to the throne after his father's death. During his reign, the country continued to develop culturally and artistically. Francis I, also known as Francis of Valois, was the son of Charles d'Angoulême and succeeded to the throne after the death of Louis XII. During his reign, France reached its peak in art, culture, and commerce. He was also famous for constructing renowned castles and architecture, such as the Château de Chambord. Henry II, the son of Francis I, ascended to the throne after his father's passing. His reign witnessed economic and cultural developments, but also faced numerous conflicts and wars with neighboring countries. Francis II, the son of Henry II, became king after his father's death. However, his reign was short-lived, ending when he passed away in 1560. Charles IX, the son of Henry II, succeeded the throne after the death of Francis II. During his reign, the country faced numerous conflicts and religious tensions, such as the infamous St. Bartholomew's Day massacre in 1572. Henry III, the son of Henry II, continued to ascend to the throne after the passing of Charles IX. His reign was marked by political conflicts and unrest within the country, and it ultimately ended with his assassination in 1589. The Valois dynasty came to an end in 1589 when the Bourbon dynasty was established with Henry IV ascending to the throne, marking a significant transfer of power in the history of France. The Bourbon dynasty began when Henry IV ascended to the throne as the first king of this dynasty in 1589. This dynasty included monarchs like Louis XIV, also known as Louis the Great, who shaped France into a powerful empire. However, the Bourbon dynasty also faced numerous wars and revolutions. Henry IV, also known as Henry of Navarre, was the first king of the Bourbon dynasty. Before ascending to the throne, he faced numerous wars and struggles to reclaim his power. After converting from Protestantism to Roman Catholicism, he gained widespread recognition and implemented significant economic and social reforms, helping France recover from years of warfare and turmoil. Louis XIII, the son of Henry IV, ascended to the throne after his father's death. Due to his young age, he ruled under the regency of trusted advisors. During his reign, France continued to develop economically and militarily. Louis XIV, also known as Louis the Great or the Sun King, was the son of Louis XIII and succeeded to the throne after his father's death. Under his reign, France reached the pinnacle of power and glory, becoming one of the most powerful and influential empires in the world. He also laid the foundation for France's rich cultural and artistic heritage, with the Palace of Versailles being a symbol of this era. Louis XV, also known as Louis the Well-Beloved, was the grandson of Louis XIV and succeeded to the throne after the death of Louis XIV. Under his reign, France continued to develop economically and culturally, but also faced numerous wars and internal conflicts. Louis XVI, the son of Louis XV, ascended the throne after the death of his father. His reign witnessed the development of wars and severe economic crises. Ultimately, political unrest and mounting debt caused by corruption led to the French Revolution, resulting in the execution of both Louis XVI and Queen Marie Antoinette. The Bourbon dynasty came to an end in 1792 when the French Revolution deposed Louis XVI from the throne, marking a new chapter in the history of France. The Bonaparte dynasty was named after Napoleon Bonaparte, who became the Emperor of France in 1804. Under this dynasty, France conquered many territories and reached the pinnacle of power and influence. Napoleon Bonaparte, a skilled military leader, became Emperor of France in 1804. Under his rule, France's army expanded the empire's territory. He implemented reforms but faced defeat in wars like the Napoleonic Wars and Battle of Waterloo, leading to his exile to Elba in 1814. After Napoleon I was exiled to the island of Elba, Louis XVIII, the younger brother of Louis XVI, returned to the throne as king. He sought to restore the Bourbon dynasty after the conclusion of Napoleon's war and emphasized peace and stability. However, Louis XVIII's restoration was not widely supported, leading to Napoleon's comeback in the spring of 1815. After escaping from Elba and returning to France in 1815, Napoleon reclaimed the throne during a period known as the 100 Days. Under this reign, he continued implementing reforms and expanding the territories of the empire. However, his defeat in the Battle of Waterloo led to his exile on the island of St. Helena, where he lived until his death in 1821. The Bonaparte dynasty came to an end in 1815 when Napoleon was exiled to the island of St. Helena. Afterward, the Bourbon dynasty returned with Louis XVIII ascending to the throne as the new king. During the reign of Louis XVIII, the younger brother of Louis XVI, he reclaimed the throne after the 100 Days period of Napoleon came to an end with the Battle of Waterloo. Under his rule, France experienced political and economic transformations. Louis XVIII implemented reforms to strengthen stability and restore the country after years of warfare. However, he also faced dissatisfaction and opposition from various social classes. Charles X, the son of Louis XVIII, ascended to the throne after the death of his father. During his reign, the power of privileged landowners and the bourgeoisie increased, while reform measures and freedoms were limited. The discontent from various social classes grew, eventually leading to the July Revolution of 1830. Louis Philippe I was the first king of the July monarchy. He acknowledged some reforms and considerations for change but maintained a system of privileges for the bourgeoisie and landowners. However, discontent from various social classes, especially peasants and workers, persisted and gradually escalated. Eventually, opposition and protest spread, leading to the February Revolution of 1848. The Orleans dynasty came to an end in 1848 after Louis Philippe I was deposed during the February Revolution. This marked the establishment of the Second French Republic. Indeed, the history of France is marked by great empires and illustrious monarchs that have contributed to its rich heritage and diverse culture. Through highs and lows, struggles, and remarkable achievements, France has paved a path that led it to become one of the most influential nations in the world. Its journey encompasses invaluable human achievements, leaving behind a legacy of immeasurable cultural significance. Let us remember that history is not just old books and records. It is our story, the seed of the future. Let's move forward into the future with pride in France's historical heritage and hope for a brighter tomorrow. Thank you for accompanying us on this journey. See you all in the next video next week.